So we're moving on to task 3. And we're going to be using try-catch blocks. And with try-catch, you can avoid seeing the red errors. If there is a problem, you basically handle the problem and allow the code to continue running. So to learn how to use try-catch, we're going to start with a very typical error, which is division by 0. So we're going to be using the AP database, and we're going to have a little try up here. So the way you code it is you say begin try. You've got your code that could possibly create an error, and it could be multiple lines of code. And then you have an end try. Directly below that, you have to code a catch. And it's begin catch, whatever lines you need to process the error, and then you have an end catch. So here I've got select 1 divided by 0. That is going to throw an error. So it's going to, from the place in the code where the error happened, okay, it leaves that section and goes down through the catch, and it's going to display you have generated an error. It's going to have error, and then every error has an error number. So this is just going to display whatever the error number is. Okay, and again, because we're using print, we have to convert it. And then we're adding that error number to the system-generated error message. So this is a system-generated error number that we are going to display with an error message. And then we're also going to display how severe the error is. And again, error severity is numeric, so we have to convert it into character in order to print it. Okay, and then once all of this error stuff is handled, we're just doing a select just to show that you can continue processing. Okay, it's not going to stop you up. Normally, if you have an error, from the place the error occurs, you can't do anything else. So we're going to go ahead and execute. And you can see the select ran. And if we go over to messages, that's where we're going to see these error messages. So we've got error 8134 divide by 0, which is a pretty darn good message because that's exactly what we were trying to do. Here's the error severity. And then the results are actually from this select. Is showing that even though we had an error, everything's still processed. So we're going to go ahead and comment that out. And we're going to work on another little problem here. Our boss wants to see whether a series of tables actually exist in the AP database. And they would like to see the top 10 records printed from each table if the table does in fact exist. So they want us to check for produce, products, invoices, vendors, accounts payable, and fixed assets. So we're basically going to stick our if statements to check to see if the tables exist. Those are all going to go in a try block. And we'll have the same catch block for all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and code all that up. Okay, so here we're checking to see if it's not null. And if it exists, we're going to go ahead and select the top 10. Otherwise, we're printing out a little message. Okay, and it's going to go through this all and check to see if they exist, printing out a message. And if there is some kind of an error, this catch will handle it. So we're going to go ahead and run. Okay, so here we can see that it did find a couple of our tables. And if we go over to messages, it's telling us which ones don't exist. And we did not have any kind of weird errors. Okay, so this catch section never was executed. So I'm going to pull my closing comment down. And our next little scenario here is our boss wants us to enter a couple of records into the invoices table. We don't want a failure in one entry to halt or stop the entry of other records. So to handle this, we're going to put each insert statement into its own try catch. That way, if there's a problem with the insert statement, the other insert statements will still run. So how this looks, because we're putting each insert into its own little try, that means we have to have a catch for each one. So we're trying to enter two different rows. Okay, so here's our first one and a little message that says it was successful, or it's going to give us an error message. And it's basically the same thing for the second one. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and run this. And we can see the first one did not work, but the second one did. So the first one says record was not inserted, error 547, insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. Okay, so we're trying to insert a row with a foreign key that does not exist in the vendor table. Okay, so that is the problem, bad foreign key. So we'll go ahead and move our closing comment down. And for our next little try-catch exercise, the scenario is, due to a computer glitch, invoice totals aren't reflecting a 6% sales tax. So we need to update all invoice totals by adding 6% to them. And our boss would like us to do this in a temporary table and review the results. So we're going to be using AP for this because we are dealing with invoices. And we're going to be creating a little temporary table called invoice copy. If it exists, we do need to remove it. So I stuck that in a try-catch. Now, could I have done something like this? If object, invoice copy exists, yes, I could have, but we are now practicing try-catch. So I did it this way. So we are going to try dropping the table. And if the table is there and it drops, great. If it's not there, that's when an error is flagged. So it's just going to come down to the catch and just print out the table doesn't exist. Okay. So we will be able to keep processing because we use try and catch. And then we are going to do a little select. Basically, we're taking everything from invoices, throwing it into invoice copy. We are declaring a cursor for invoice copy so we can process it row by row. We're going to open up our cursor. We get the first row. If that was successful, we are updating invoice copy, and we're basically adding 6% to our invoice total. And we're saying it was updated. And then we fetch the next one. Okay, so we're just doing it one by one. This does allow us to see that the invoice total has been updated. If we wanted to, we could actually print out the old invoice total and the new. Using this method you can customize what you're displaying. Okay, we're just saying the total was updated, and it's going to process each row separately. And then when it's done, it closes off the cursor and deallocates those resources. So we are going to go ahead and run this. Okay, and because it was a select, we can see all of the data here. And if we look in messages, okay, first thing, table doesn't exist. Okay, so that came from up here. And then you can just see that the first select had 123 rows. This was our update, our update, our update. Okay, so you can see how it's processing. And these are the results. So I'm going to go ahead and move my closing comment down. And at this point, we are done with task 3, try and catch.